Kia ora, and greetings from the PASAI Secretariat in Auckland, New Zealand. I am sorry that I am unable to be there in person, but I am pleased to have this opportunity to share with you how some of the PASAI members are contributing to the effectiveness of climate change adaptation actions in the Pacific region. Pacific countries are at the front line of the effects of climate change. Rising sea levels, flooding, coastal erosion, and extreme weather are realities that threaten the lives and livelihoods of people, communities, and countries across the region. To give just one example, Tuvalu faces extraordinary challenges due to sea level rise. The average height of land is only half a meter above the ridge of normal high tides, and the atolls are storm wave exposed. By 2050, half the land area of the capital, Funafuti, will become flooded by daily tidal waters, and by 2100, 95% of the land area will be flooded by routine high tides. Many Pacific nations have ambitious adaptation plans to protect and improve the resilience of vulnerable communities from the effects of climate change, including reclaiming and developing land and infrastructure, building sea and river walls, and supporting community businesses. For these reasons, many PASAI member SAIs were keen to take part in the INTOSAI Development Initiative and Working Group on Environmental Auditing Global Audit of Climate Change Adaptation Actions, which started in 2023. The 9 participating SAIs share the common goal of wanting to contribute to improved governance, effectiveness, and inclusivity of government's climate change adaptation actions.
4 PASAI members are examining how well their governments are implementing climate change adaptation planning or actions. They are Fiji, the Federated States of Micronesia, Samoa, and Tonga. Between them, these 4 audits are looking at whether effective national climate change adaptation plans are in place, whether implementation of the plans is being effectively monitored and reported on, and how successfully some of the actions and projects are achieving the intended benefits for people, such as protection of communities' physical assets and livelihoods, and resettlement of communities. Another 4 PASAI members are examining how well their governments are taking action to adapt to the impact of sea level rise and coastal erosion. They are the Republic of the Marshall Islands, New Caledonia, the Solomon Islands, and Tuvalu. Between them, these 4 audits are looking at the effectiveness of risk and vulnerability assessments, how well projects such as construction of seawalls and reclamation of land are being managed, and the success of these projects and provincial responses in achieving benefits, such as reducing the vulnerability of communities, enhancing livelihoods, and improving food and water security. One PASAI member, Vanuatu, is examining how well their government is managing water resources to secure Vanuatu's water future. This audit is looking at the effectiveness of risk assessment, stakeholder engagement, and data management, and enhancing the resilience of water supply schemes owned and operated by communities. Alongside the support provided by IDI, PASAI is providing coordinated, tailored support to all 9 participating SAIs from the Pacific, working with twinning partners in the region. We have provided guidance and advice to the SAIs on planning their audits and conducting their fieldwork to gather evidence. Across all the audits, our advice has been directed at focusing the audits to be achievable and have impact, including by looking at tangible projects and their intended outcomes for communities. Recently, we brought together representatives from all the audit teams for a workshop to share progress, challenges, successes, and emerging findings. Each of the audit teams gave a presentation, and we held in-person audit advice sessions with each team. We coordinated this workshop with a meeting of the Regional Working Group on Environmental Auditing in Canberra. Following on from the workshop, we're having regular check-ins with each audit team and have identified how we will support each SAI complete their audit.
From the early and indicative audit findings shared as part of the presentation of the workshop in Canberra, some themes started to emerge across the audits. These themes need to be confirmed and verified after the audits are completed. They include that some improvements are needed. First, for strategic coordination and prioritization of adaptation planning and implementation of actions. Second, for monitoring and reporting on the implementation of plans and actions. And thirdly, planning for and putting in place funding and arrangements for the sustainability of benefits and outcomes for communities. In conducting their audits, many of the SAIs are facing common challenges, such as access to data and documents, officials, and places. In a lot of cases, there has been a high turnover of personnel in the government departments and ministries that they are auditing, and a consequent loss of institutional knowledge about national adaptation planning. A strength and success of many of the audits is how the audit teams have undertaken site visits to gather direct evidence of the progress of projects. Also, how the audit teams have engaged with communities to hear, to see, and understand how actions are improving the resilience of communities and the challenges that remain. The audits are proving to be a great way of the SAI teams building their performance audit capability. We are looking forward to the PASAI region having some worthwhile insights to contribute to the IDI global report on all of the climate change adaptation audits in 2025. Thank you again for the opportunity for PASAI to contribute to this summit. I wish you a successful time together, and we look forward to hearing and reading about your deliberations. Thank you.